Okay, guys, we need to have a little heart to heart.
We're going down deep.
So get ready. We've been, 'tis the season for graduation parties and everything. And so we've, been at a lot of different parties and hanging out with a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, I have found that I've been falling, I love bringing joy to people. It's just, everyone does. Like, humor is a huge thing for me. And so everyone, says things to make people laugh. And, most people try to make people laugh. Just, fun to have a good sense of humor and stuff.
Right.
But a lot of times I find myself falling into a negative sense of humor. Because it's easier.
It's like an easier sense of humor. And I think for a lot of people too. Like for most people it's easier because it's kind of a less intelligent humor because it doesn't take as much thought process to be just like snarky.
Right. It touches a ton of people and it just sticks.
It's like a wildfire.
So we were talking about how to change that and how we should try harder to be positive without going over the top,
because we don't want to be
superficial and not real,
because that's not going to spread goodness.
People know when it's fake,
and it doesn't help you to feel more positive, but to be real positive and to actually be funny and be yourself. You be you.
So yes, that's what we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, that's what we were going to.
And this is really, for me, a challenge,
because let me explain a little bit. Let me come deep down here for a second.
Let's dig it deep.
Let's dig down deep. You have a very sarcastic humor like that because that's natural. Some people are really funny comedy wise. There's dry humor, sarcastic humor, or whatever. There's a lot of different, and so her tendency is to be a sarcastic humor,
which is not always a good thing.
It can be taken too far, just like anything can be taken too far, and then that's when it gets contagious and when it gets sticky and
not cool. We were just, driving, having one of our conversations, which usually happens in the car.
And we don't have music on. Side note, it is so hard for me to not drive with music. This has nothing to do with this, but driving without music, if you just keep the music off for one drive and just give yourself time to think, oh my goodness. Some of the most beautiful conversations I've had with God have been during my commute to school. But I didn't turn on our music today, and then we had a good conversation.
You're right.
So, little side note there.
So, we were trying to decide how we should fix this problem that we've been feeling. I was just thinking about, Jesus, and you hear this all the time when you think about it. God has a fantastic sense of humor. He loves it. He wouldn't create us with a sense of humor if he didn't like it. Yeah, so I was thinking about Jesus and his face. And watching him laugh and what made him laugh. And so instead of just trying to make the world laugh, before I say something to try to get people laugh, I want to try and before I say it, think, would this make Jesus laugh?
Even people that aren't Christian.
Right.
Think about an aunt or the mom of one of your best friends.
Yeah,
someone you just really respect. Or your own parents. And when you're around them, sarcastic humor and negative humor is major no-no, right? You're no. You want to be on your best behavior and make them really impressed with your behavior. And I think that's just going to be so beautiful to help inspire our community. Negative humor is really contagious. It's like a wildfire. And so if you're negative, the next person will be negative, the next person will be negative. Yeah. But so is positivity.
Something else that stems into this is how to go about it in a real way.
In an authentic way.
Yes. It's so important to be real and not put it on because people can tell.
And I think that the main thing, at least because there's a lot of different answers and there's a lot of different ways that we can go about this if you keep your mind open, but I think a big answer to this is prayer. Yeah. If we ask for the strength to be able to be positive, Jesus is not going to hold that back. All of those humorous saints, John Bosco and Thomas More. Thomas More had an awesome sense of humor. He was the one that said, when he was getting martyred, he said, shave off my beard. My beard never did anything to hurt you. His sense of humor, that's part of what he was known for. I think that was Thomas More. And they were funny. And they prayed. And I'm sure they said, Lord, please help me to be able to be funny in a good way. Wow.
Yes.
That was we really wanted to get that up.
I felt like this was put on both of our hearts at the same time. And it just was something that we really wanted to talk to you all about. And,
because we love you. And we love this.
Yeah. And, this is our mission for this channel, is that we would share conversations that we had with you all.
And we hope that it helps. And if you have any questions, please feel free to talk to us. And if you have any comments,
ideas of
feel
stuff
free
you
to
might want,
comment.
if you have ideas of things you want us to talk about, maybe.
And
not a Rubik's.
Wait, Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube. A Rubik's Cube. Like Rubik is a boy who has a cube. Happy Sunday. God bless you guys.
Keep staying vigil.
Oh yeah, I always want to say keep smiling. That's a different
That's a good
phrase
thing too, but
yeah, keep smiling.
keep vigil.
And stay vigil. Keeping vigil. That's so hard to say.
I know.
We really
Let's
picked a
just
hard
not.
one. Let's finish with this.
Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata.
I think we're singing it really fast. Don't you think? Like I bet they're like Hakuna Matata.
Bye.
Peace out. Love you guys.
Hakuna Matata.